Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today will not be a ASMR video. Today I'm actually going to be talking about a lot of issues that are present right now, and I thought that I would get into it. So make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So the thing that really made me want to make this video was I've been watching a lot of Blair White recently, the Blair White Project. She's more right-wing than left-wing, more conservative than liberal, which, I mean, I kind of swing both ways depending on, their views, but I pretty well agree with most of her views. So the first point, I wanted to, because I do want to, there's a lot of stuff that I want to get into, but the first thing I want to get into is the Leah Thomas, because that has seemed to be brought up. So if you guys don't know who that is, Leah Thomas is a trans woman who is a man going into a woman who participated in a women's swimming competition. The females have spoke out about this that were on the competition. They were not, they did not like that Leah Thomas had full male genitalia in the female locker room.
I know the fear that I went through every single day in the locker room, knowing, okay, anyone who identifies as a woman is allowed to enter a woman's space. And I heard stories of women going through things that were far worse than what I experienced. And I heard stories of other girls at the NCAA championship.
It made them uncomfortable, and honestly, it's disgusting that you would even put yourself in a woman's space. Why would anybody want to be in a locker room, all females, and then you have male genitalia right in front of you? It's disgusting, and it's really dumbfounding to me that people will do this. And the fact that Leah Thomas placed 400 something, like 420th in the male division, and placed first in the women's division. The fact that they even let Leah Thomas compete was, I mean, and I want to go say it's not Leah Thomas's fault that the rules are the way they are. However, so another issue with Leah Thomas is the DAs have ignored. She's been exposed by the colleges going into college locker rooms, gyms, and the DAs just ignore it like it's nothing. And that can be very dangerous. Like, I'm not saying Leah Thomas is dangerous, but if they do that with everybody, that can be very dangerous. And that kind of goes back to the whole locker room thing. It goes with sportsmanship, integrity, everything that sports goes through. Why would you purposely go in there knowing it's disrespectful? Like, I don't get it. The next thing that I want to talk about is Dr. Mike's video that he just released, which is another thing why I wanted to do this video. Dr. Mike just released a video called Science of Trans Healthcare and how harmful it is. So they focus on the majority, but I will get into like trans children and why it's so bad for them. It's almost irreversible. Once you've started it, you can stop, but the damage is done. Look at Jazz Jennings. I do want to talk about Jazz Jennings for a little bit too, because Jazz Jennings was one of the really first documented, the life document of a trans person, and Jazz Jennings didn't develop enough to have the surgery, and now Jazz Jennings can never experience an orgasm, and it's sad because it is a human right to have that. It's a human right to experience that. It's part of growing up, learning your body, and unfortunately, because of her parents, she can't do that. And that's why a lot of the trans kids end up not liking their parents, or trying to detransition, or trying to do a lot what they can, because their parents force them into that situation, which should be a crime, I think, if you're trying to transition your kid at 4, 5, 6 years old. If you're letting them go to school and it's being taught in schools, talking about gender in school should not be it shouldn't even be in the classroom, talking about gender. I don't agree with they or them, non-binary. It's bullshit. It's a lot of the stuff that we made up during the pandemic because we were bored. Okay, I don't agree with Jeffree Star, but I'll agree with him on that they and them is bullshit. Okay, I don't know why we got so bored during the pandemic that we thought, let's make up more crazy bullshit to identify ourselves as, because we're bored and we can't think of anything else to do. So there's that. So back to Dr. Mike's video, I'm glad that he is spreading awareness, especially a doctor, and he has 12 million subscribers. So I'm glad that somebody is at least with a bigger platform, and especially a doctor, is raising awareness to the trans youth and why it's dangerous and why it can be irreversible and it can cause permanent damage. So Judge Robert Hinkle of Florida said that they went too far by banning gender affirming care for children, which gender affirming care for children shouldn't even be a term, should not exist. Why do we need gender affirming care for children? Gender dysphoria is a very real thing that children could experience, and a lot of the trans people that especially Blair White, they know at a very young age. But however, good example, Blair White waited till her early 20s to transition. Why? Because she wasn't a kid. Your brain needs to develop before you know what you want, because you can go through an emo phase just as you might be able to go through a trans phase. And I'm not saying, coming from a gay person, it's a gay phase. That kind of really doesn't work as well. It kind of does kind of push you back a little bit, and so you kind of have to reevaluate and think, same thing with tattoos. Let's wait, see what we like. Let's wait until we're an adult, and then let's go ahead and do it when we're an adult and not a child. So that is a really big part, and I don't think that gender affirming care for minors should even be a thing. And in this article, he goes on to quote Martin Luther King Jr., which, why you are quoting him and why would you disrespect Martin Luther King Jr. like that? That is so disrespectful to put him in the same sentence as I want gender affirming care for children, and they went too far by blocking it off. Like, excuse me? I do not support children being sterilized, getting boobs, getting their penises cut off. It's disgusting. I do want to talk about a House bill that was passed in my state. House Bill 1406 provides Department of Correction shall assign an offender based on their biological sex at birth and reproductive biology. Basically, that means if you are a offender, if you are sent to jail in my state, you will be going into the men or women section based on how you were born at birth. This can go multiple different ways. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I forget to mention that Nikita Dragon, one of the biggest trans people besides Blair, was arrested and thrown into a men's facility, which is very dangerous for her and also anyone around them, because there are so many people that want to try and legally change their sex, legally do, and not even make the point to transition. They look busted. They're busted trans people. There's only a certain 2% of trans people that I like, because the other 98 are woke bitches and they think they have periods and they can do this and that. You're not a woman. You are not even in a category of women. You are a trans woman. You cannot have periods. You don't have a uterus. You can't get pregnant. You're not a woman. And this is why I click with Blair White so much. The bad thing of it is people like Blair White, Nikita Dragon, people that have gone the surgeries, done the surgeries, gone through with it, sterilized, they look full woman, have breasts. It's dangerous I feel like it's dangerous to put them in a men's prison. You wouldn't want Blair White walking into a men's bathroom, and you wouldn't want Buck Angel walking into a woman's bathroom. It's just not gonna work. But people like Dylan Mulvaney just need to stay out of bathrooms, period. There was a lot of pregnancy cases and rape cases, which is why this bill had to be passed, because unfortunately the fake trans people are ruining it for the good trans people that have actually put the time, years and years and effort into it. And it sucks, but there's too many bad people that want to do this. In a liberal's mind, it's just never gonna work. woke liberals. It's just never gonna work. Another House bill that was passed was House Bill 1291, and it replaces gender with phrase biological sex in certain situations, which the term is used to describe the condition of being physically male or female, which kind of goes along to the jail thing, but it's not just jail, it's everything. But it says certain situations. It doesn't go into the situations. I try to read up more on it, but it doesn't really specify. So I'm wondering, like, it's different. A Walmart bathroom is different than a high school bathroom, right? So I'm wondering what this last law, and that it's kind of this was like I wanted it to conclude it with this because I kind of wanted it to be a question. I really don't know what they're referring to by certain situations. Like, are they talking about bathrooms? Are they talking about getting certain licensing documents? I don't know what they're talking about. There was, believe it or not, on these House bills, there is a petition to get rid of them. And I'm like, the others, they can stay. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm so glad to be back, and I hope to be posting more. I am so thankful that you guys are in my life. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.